All right, here we go. Hold my banner NBA Cup edition. How about that? Welcome in, everybody. Travis Thomas here. And you know I'm not rolling solo, right? You know I'm here with you, of course, and the walking, talking triple-double himself, Ountae Campbell. I mean, hey, man, let's put all our business in the street. We just had a meeting today. Yep. The numbers for Hold My Banner are going up. Everything's on the up and up. We're looking good out here. We're coming up in these streets today, and I couldn't be happier and more appreciative to all of you for showing Tay and I love.
Yeah, man. It's great whenever we go outside. We hear from people who watch the show. They tell us how much they like it. We would love to hear more from you guys. If you guys want to call in, email us, Travis will give you the promo read. I don't do that. That's his job. But, you know, we got a phone number. We got an email, man. Just tune in, talk to us, whatever, and we'll put you on the show and hear what you have to say and answer your questions, man.
I love that. Travis will give you that information. I don't do all that. 617-790-0928 is the hotline number. Of course, we want to hear from you always. All right, Tay, so now NBA Cup starts. I mean, look. Do you care? Like, was last season enough to draw you into this? Are you kind of like, all right? Or are you like dreading the NBA Cup? Are you looking forward to it this time?
I mean, I don't really care. You know, I'm just being honest. Like when the Lakers hung their in-season tournament championship banner, I was like, we're really doing this?
Yeah, that was weird.
We're really doing this?
That was weird.
You know, I don't really care. It is what it is. It's more intense basketball, which I like from that standpoint. I like the idea of taking the championship game to Vegas and making an event. I love that the NBA is having the new courts and letting everybody know what this event is. Yeah. But as far as like a basketball watch or an NBA fan, like this ring or this championship that they win in the cup doesn't mean anything in terms of like how great I think a team is or a player is. It means nothing. So I like it from that standpoint that we get competitive basketball early on in the season all the way throughout the finish, and that's pretty much it.
I'm with you on that banner that the Lakers like. To me, that's what a loser franchise does. Yeah. If I remember correctly, was it not the Pacers? It was the Pacers and the Lakers in it. If the Pacers win it, then raise a banner. Okay? Yeah. Like loser franchise stuff. You're the Lakers. I mean, are we seriously raising a banner for winning the damn NBA Cup? Please. So I'm with you. But I'll say this. Last year, I was a hater of it, Ountae. And then I found myself, this won't surprise you at all, gambling on the games, okay? Of course. And I got into it, and I recognized what the NBA was doing. Yeah. I recognized what they were doing. It brings a little more sense of urgency. So I'll end the show with that, but I want to start here. We'll bring Ountae back after this rant. You know, Jaylen Brown and the Giannis thing during the Bucks-Celtics game. Now, of course, it got all the clips. It was all over all these shows. And Jaylen Brown's comments is really what stuck out to me. So remember, Giannis sticks his hand out to dap up JB. JB goes to dap him, and Giannis gives him the too cool for school, right? It was dumb. It was quirky. It was immature. It was all those things. Kind of funny depending on where your stance is on it. But I love what Jaylen Brown said. He just poo-pooed it, just like it's not even worth my time by saying, hey, Giannis is a child. I'm just here to help my team win games. And I thought to myself, what a mature thing to say, and what a Jaylen Brown thing that's what I would expect. Derek White would have fun with this. I even think Drew Holiday would have fun with this. Jason Tatum would have fun with this. Jaylen Brown, in all his seriousness, is just like, yeah, I don't have time for this. I'm a grown-up. And we're winning games. And even the game itself, I don't want to look too far back because it happened over the weekend, but even the game itself played out a lot like those comments. Think about this. I'm looking at the numbers here. Jason Tatum had a complete game, 31 points, 12 boards, 6 dimes. Now, Jaylen Brown himself only had 14, but remember, first game back, coming back from the hip injury, still trying to work out the kinks there, so I get it. But in typical Celtics fashion, 5 guys in that game, double figures. You win the game. Typical Bucks, how they lose. Giannis in that game, 43 points, 16 boards. He did it all, and they still lost. So I think the messaging from Jaylen Brown, come on, I'm a grown man. We don't have time for this. I'm not playing games like Giannis. He's a child. We're winning games. We're locked in. I'm locked in on helping my team win games. That is exactly the messaging that the rest of the league got. I'm not the only one with this takeaway. The rest of the teams in this league looked at that and said, oh, man, we are in trouble. Because it doesn't matter your antics. You're not going to talk us out of our game. You're not going to get in our head, bro. We're not going to be out here self-destructing and getting texts and getting into fights and all that BS. It's not going to happen. We, the Celtics, are a well-oiled machine, and we are going to beat your ass into submission. That's the translation. That's what Jaylen Brown said. And he's right. You look at the state of the Eastern Conference right now. We're going to talk about this later with Ountae. But if you just look at the Eastern Conference and all these great off seasons that these teams had, none of them are doing anything. None of them. I mean, they can't get out of their own way. I just told you how the Bucks always lose. Giannis goes off, Dame helps out, and there's no one else doing anything. And Doc Rivers is over on the sidelines looking lost. Like, this Celtics team is going to lap the Eastern Conference again. That's exactly what Jaylen Brown's telling you. None of the tricks, none of it. You could try anything you want. It's not going to work. We're better than you. We're more locked in than you. We're grown up, and we are going to beat you down. I think they lap the East again. Although, on one hand, where I say the Celtics are going to lap everyone again, I cannot tell a lie, man. I am impressed with this Cleveland Cavalier team. Now, I want to go back. Let's turn back the clock a little bit. And for those of you who do hate, hey, we gave a lot of love at the top of the show and how our numbers are growing, and we appreciate you. But there are some haters out there, too. Okay, don't get it twisted. Those of you who hate and say I'm a loudmouth, I don't know what I'm talking about, half of the time you're right. But one thing I got right that I cannot allow you to take away from me. You could go back and check the tape. When we were doing each team in this league season previews, I said about the Cavs, because I liked J.B. Bickerstaff personally. They fired him. They bring in Kenny Atkinson. Okay, you're not blaming some of these players. You're not putting accountability on them. You're blaming the coach. Got it. I don't have a problem with that. But whoever you hire has to be the guy, and there's going to be pressure on him immediately. So enter Kenny Atkinson. And I said at the time, if the Cavs are right about him, because I like him, I think he's a good coach. If the Cavs are right about him, then he will maximize the talent that team has. No one can deny that. That roster's been talented for years. Since they've acquired Donovan Mitchell, that roster's been excellent. But they just keep underachieving. So Cleveland, right? Well, Kenny Atkinson comes in. There's a sense of urgency there. I think there was a twinge of toxicity in that locker room a little bit. He comes in, he stabilizes all that. Donovan Mitchell's happy. Here's the thing he's done the best. Because you look at Cleveland, they really have the same makeup. They play really good defense, which they have. The difference now, though, they shoot better as a team. I would say they're more efficient. And then here's what Kenny Atkinson really did. He got the most out of Darius Garland. That's the key there in Cleveland. I mean, a Cleveland fan will tell you that. If you can get more consistency out of Darius Garland, sky is the limit for that team. If you were to tell me, coming into the season, Kenny Atkinson would work, they would shoot better, they'd be more efficient as a team. Okay, check. Darius Garland would be better because of the Kenny Atkinson experience, if you will. Okay, check. Then I would believe that the Cavs could push the Celtics. I would believe that the Cavs would have a true shot at a number one seed in the Eastern Conference. I don't think any of these things are far-fetched. So what Cleveland is doing, let me just be more clear. What Cleveland is doing, I think it is sustainable. I do believe this team is the truth. In a 7-game series, however, I'll take the Celtics. Can they push it to 6? Can it go 7? Sure, I don't know. It wouldn't shock me. But in the end, the Celtics, I think, will be the team to come out of the East. But I do believe what Cleveland is doing is sustainable, and I do believe when the smoke clears, they could be the team standing there blocking or trying to block the Celtics from getting a repeat. So I guess in that spirit, let's go NBA power rankings here. I'm not a big power ranking guy, but I feel like now at this point, we've seen a lot of basketball be played. We have the NBA Cup starting. It's a good time to kind of reset. Now, because I'm not a big power ranking dude, I'm not going to bore you to tears with a top 10. I'm not doing that. I'll give you my top 3. And there's only one team out west that I have on this. So let's start there. Number 3, I'll go Warriors here a bit reluctantly. And here's what I mean. I like the Thunder more, big picture. And I think the Thunder have a better shot of a deep playoff run or even going to the finals than the Warriors do. I told you back when the Warriors beat the Celtics a week ago that they feel like a regular season team to me, the Warriors. The new look Warriors, if you will. They're young, they're deep. They built around Steph and Draymond in a smart sort of way, but they just feel so undersized to me, and they also don't feel very physical. But right now, I'll put them over the Thunder because I think the injury to Chet is a big deal. Even though the Thunder are playing well without him right now, I do think I have to take them down at least a notch. So I'll go Warriors here at my 3 spot, although this is clearly subject to change because I don't really believe in them big picture unless they add a star like a Giannis later on. But for now, I'll go Warriors 3. 2, I'll go Celtics. Look, when I watch them, I would probably describe them as inconsistent, dominant. Like they're inconsistently dominant. When they are locked in and they're right, they can dominate anyone in this league. And they have, and they do. But every now and again, it does kind of feel like, I don't know, they're bored. It's almost like they're on cruise control a little bit. And then they lay a stinker. But I'll say this, Jaylen Brown's back and playing himself healthy. Kristaps Porzingis is coming back soon. So this team's about to be whole, and they're going to be a problem, okay? Now I think we'll see that consistent dominance. But for now, I'll go them at 2. I have less questions about the Celtics and more questions about who else in the East, other than Cleveland, is going to show up and play ball. Does that make sense? Like, the Celtics are just fine. Even though they're not 1 on this list for my power rankings, I have zero worry about this team. They're going to be just fine. But who the hell else is going to show up and do anything in the East other than Cleveland? And that's my number 1 team, the Cavs. I do. I believe in them. Again, if it's a 7-game series, whether it's Eastern Conference Finals, first round, whatevs. If you're telling me best out of 7, I'll take the Celtics in 6 games. Because I do think Cleveland even matches up well against the Celtics in terms of bodies. And Atkinson can coach. So I think you could have a series there. But I don't believe Cleveland is dynamic enough offensively still. Even though they're more efficient, that's why they'll be in a series. And obviously we know last season they had injuries galore. Now, some of that stuff you can't control. I mean, if they get hurt and they fade down the stretch, it happens. And it wouldn't shock me because now we see a little bit of pattern of that happening in Cleveland. Can Donovan Mitchell keep it together and stay healthy through a playoff? I don't know. So, but for now, for the sake of this exercise, I will take them number 1 in my power rankings, although I do believe the Celtics could beat them in a 7-game series. All right, want to hear about all the Boston sports, not just the Celtics? Check out Nesson's Daily Sports Podcast. Boston has entered the chat. You can enter the conversation yourself. We gave you this number earlier. Get involved. It's a Nesson Vodcast hotline, 617-790-0928. You can also email the chat at Nesson.com. Send us any comments, questions, or concerns. We'll get to it right on the show. Boston has entered the chat is available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcasts are found. All right, and with that, we bring them back in, the walking, talking triple-double. I mean, hey, you heard the power rankings. You heard me make fun of Giannis for getting sunned. What do you make of all of it?
I mean, I just got to go back to the power rankings. All right. Yeah. Giannis, okay. Yeah. He's an older guy now in the league. He's a little corny, whatever. Who cares? That moment is coming past. I'm over it. All right.
All right.
What I need to talk about is this power rankings. Now, Cavs fans, when we did the Cavs preview, have been on me.
They were on you.
They were on me because they were like, oh, you don't watch the Cavs and blah, blah.
What were they calling you? A cash or something?
Casual, whatever. Jeez. Okay, here's my thing, right? So I've been paying attention to the Cavs very closely this year. And don't get me wrong. You're completely right in all of your assessment. I was wrong about this team. I was wrong.
You were.
I was wrong.
I tried to warn you.
On the defensive end, I was wrong about how good they were going to be on that end of the ball. I knew that they could score. I knew that wouldn't be an issue. I thought defensively they would be worse. Where I am still on the opposite side of you, opposing side of you, is are they really the best team in the NBA? Now, hear me out, okay? People are going to get mad when I say this, but because the Celtics also have not really played anybody besides the Warriors.
Sure.
But the Cavaliers have not played anybody this season besides the Warriors. I mean, we start off with the Raptors, Pistons, Wizards, Knicks, Lakers, Magic, Bucks, and Magic are a good team. Don't get me wrong, but I think that was without Paolo or whatever. I'm not 100% sure about that one, but okay, they beat the Magic. They're a good team. I'll give you that. Bucks twice, Pelicans, Warriors, Nets, Bulls. You know what I'm saying? So here's my thing. And why I think the Celtics are still a better team than the Cavs, even in the power rankings of today, is that they have faced adversity. And yes, you said they've had some stinkers or whatever. They've had a game where they lost in overtime to the Pacers. They had the game where they lost to the Warriors without JB. You know what I mean? But they've been in every single game that they've been in as well when they've had adversity. They've had KP out. They've had JB out now to start the season. You know, Tatum's having the ankle issues now. This team, the Cavs team, has been healthy, ready, new coach energy. All of the things pointing in the right direction for them. What are they going to look like when things point in the wrong direction? Because we've seen a lot of finger pointing in that organization when things don't go their way. Is that going to come back? Is it going to be, DG's not good enough? Because right now, he's a top 6 MVP candidate, which is crazy.
Yeah, he is.
But at some point, there's the ebbs and flows of him. He's gonna have stinker games. That's part of being a basketball player. That's part of being a human. Every game's not gonna be 30-10. That's not gonna happen. So when he doesn't have those games and they eventually do take a loss, is that gonna string into other losses and more losses and more losses? And as the season goes along, are they gonna be that team? We don't know that yet.
We don't know.
So that's why I say I think the Celtics, based off what we do know, are still the best team in the league.
Fair.
Even though they have 2 losses and the Cavs don't, against virtually a similar schedule. But they have 2 superstars missing and the Cavs don't. When they have JB in the lineup, they win. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I'll tell you this. We're going to get a look at this because these 2 play next week, and I can't wait. And I do think, obviously it's still early in the regular season, but it will give us a glimpse from the Cleveland side of things, how real this team is. And if it is indeed sustainable. What else you got for me?
All right. So after that, I need to ask you a question. It's the NBA season, and we know there's a ton of injuries. I can list a million of them, right? But we have a game coming up between the Thunder and the Pelicans tonight. So I need to know, what does this league look like without Chet, without Zion? What does that mean for those 2 teams who are really what we thought some Western Conference battlers, at least? I won't say contenders in the case of the Pelicans, but guys that we thought would have good seasons in the NBA on the Western Conference. How do you feel about their seasons now with the injury news for those 2 teams?
Well, get me some information here for how long Zion's out, because we know Chet is going to miss significant time.
Right.
I'll say this. Chet's light in the ass, man. He is. And I think he's gotten bigger since he's been in the league. But he clearly still needs to get bigger. And so, bro, you fall down. And if I'm not mistaken, I do want your story from this because I think this injury has happened to you before. But, a guy at his size, he's going to be challenging shots at the rim. he's going to be dunking on people at the rim. Like he's going to get hit, and he's going to get hit by players, and he's going to get hit by that hard ass floor too. And you got to bulk up more, man. Yeah. You've done a good job so far, but you have to continue on that path. You got to get a little bit bigger. We don't want you to lose your explosiveness. Don't want you. He moves very well for his size.
He does.
We don't want you to lose your speed. We don't want you to lose your pliability. We need all these things, but you do have to eat a steak too. You got to put a little more meat on your bones.
Right.
I have confidence because he's done it a little bit that he will continue to do that with the NBA strength and conditioning and whatever. Right.
Yes.
I think the Thunder will build him up just fine. My concern. And the answer to this question is Zion. Because Zion is the opposite. He finally got in shape. He finally did what we've all been asking him to do. Bruh, don't do push-ups. Push away from the table. Push away from the king cake and the beignets and the crawfish and whatnots. He did it.
Yes.
He was in shape. We were hyped to see what was going to happen in preseason. He looked like a whole new man.
Yep.
And he's hurt again. Did you find out how long's he out? What's his deal?
So he's out indefinitely.
Oh, great.
And he has a hamstring strain.
Yeah, I knew it was hamstring.
Reevaluated in the coming weeks.
Okay, so that could be that could be bad. Like reevaluating the coming weeks could mean 2 weeks from now we find out he's out for 2 months.
Right.
Or worse. So I have way more concerns about Zion, and I'm at the point now. I know they paid him. I mean, if you're the Pelicans, man, what do you do? Because you've done I feel like they've done everything right. They've tried different combos of players. At this point, when do you give up on the kid? At what point? How many times does this have to continue to happen where you're like, he can't sustain and stay healthy?
Right.
And you got to start making some decisions for your future, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, you do. You definitely need to look at it. And this is why I'm asking this question before we get into this game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's because, yes, Chet, he is light. For reference, look, let me give you the reference, right? So I was looking, his weight, about 208 to 213, depending on where you look. Wemby, around the same height.
Yeah.
235.
There you go.
You know, so.
And this is with Chet bulking up, Ountae.
Right.
This is a bigger Chet.
Right. So, you know, he definitely does need to get a little bit stronger. The foot injury that he got going into his rookie season was because he's not strong and he was guarding LeBron, and LeBron messed him up.
Yep.
You know, now he's running into Andrew Wiggins, and Andrew Wiggins is toppling him over because he's not strong enough. And I've seen Andrew Wiggins with my own eyes, man. That man is a powerful beast. So he ran into two giants.
Yeah.
And every single time he just comes out with a loss. So,
that's right.
I'm nervous about that, and I'm nervous about the Thunder now because I wanted to pick apart that Warriors top 3 power rankings and say, no, it's the Thunder. But then I watched that game they played with the Clippers the other night, and they had 20 rebounds in the game that they won.
Yeah, they won.
But they had 20 rebounds in the NBA game.
Yes.
Total.
I know.
To the Clippers, who's not like a fantastic rebounding team. And it took 45 from SGA, and it took 28 from Jaylen Williams to get it done.
Yep.
So they're not going to get that every night. So I'm extremely nervous for them. I'm also nervous for the Pelicans as well because both of these teams, we came in. For the OKC, we said the great thing that Sam Presti did was go get another big.
That's right.
That fixes their issue. I came into the preview of the Pelicans saying, I'm nervous for this team because who's rebounding the ball for them? Who is their center? Who's doing this? They're losing 8 rebounds a game because of Zion being out. They lost another star already earlier this year with DeJounte Murray. Yep. So I'm extremely nervous for this team. I had them sneaking in to the playoffs. Now, 12 games, 10 games, how many ever games in we are for the Pelicans, I'm like, it's over.
Yeah, I am too. And again, not only do I agree with you and we're in lockstep there, I am now questioning if Zion is capable of ever. In fact, no, I'm willing to go bold here for this. Zion will never live up to the hype, ever. I'm punting on that. I'm punting on that.
The hype was big. It was
the hype was he'll never live up to that.
Yeah.
Now I just want to see, can you put it together and stay healthy for a full season, and then give me that again the following season.
Yeah.
That's where I'm setting the bar for him, brother. Yeah. That's not what we should be talking about with Zion. With Zion, we should be talking about where does he rank in the current players in terms of face of the league for the for the future. Right. Like where does he weigh up? Where does he rank with a Anthony Edwards, or you know what I mean? And we're not having those conversations with him because he can't get and stay healthy. Right. And Ountae, I just think this is who he is, brother.
Before you move on, the Pelicans are what they are. Obviously, they have to rely on Yves Missy and Brandon Boston Jr. So, like, this season is done. As far as I look at it, this season's done. I want to talk more about the Thunder because they have an opportunity to get Isaiah Hartenstein back in a month, and we'll see how that looks. We assume that Chet is going to be out he's going to miss
time
for at least 3 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's going to miss significant time.
Maybe they get him back towards the playoffs, kind of like how the Celtics got KP back towards the playoffs last season. Yep. Maybe it's on that kind of timeline.
Yep.
Sam Presti, I got to ask, man. Like, I love what you've done. I've given you so much praise.
You have.
But now here's the question, bro. Are you going to make an in-season trade deadline move that actually helps this team win right now? Because right now is the window for you.
Yeah.
There is no more, the Thunder, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you got to pay dudes. Dudes are going to need money. This second apron thing is real. You got a lot of talent and a lot of dogs on that team who are making nothing, who are giving you way above what they're getting paid. Are you going to be the great GM that we all give you credit for, or are you going to lay down? Because 20 rebounds in a game, it ain't going to get it done, bro. I'm telling you that right now. So figure it out. Because basketball, I'm not a fan of the Thunder, but I'm a fan of basketball. And basketball needs parity. And the Thunder were supposed to be one of the teams that supported that and gave that to us. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do that, playing a 6'6" as their tallest person.
Hey, man, you could go out there and get some boards, no doubt in my mind. Will the Bruins find their way back to the Cup? We check in with some of the NHL's greatest to help us find the answer on NESN's The Hockey Hub podcast. Hear from current and former Bruins weekly, as well as the latest going on around the hockey world. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else you get your podcast. All right, now, earlier in this fine program, I was making fun of the Eastern Conference.
Yep.
And listen, I told you, I know we kind of differ a little bit with the Cavs in terms of sustainability, but there's no question, outside of Cleveland and Boston, the East has been basura, trash.
Garbage.
I mean, Ountae, there's only 2 teams as of right now.
Yes, as we're recording this.
We're recording over 500. And it's a 2 we just said.
Yeah.
It's unreal how bad the East has been. And all you and I did was talk about and pick apart all these off seasons that these Eastern Conference teams had. And we're like, man, at least the Celtics will be challenged this year. Wrong. At least so far, Tay, outside of Cleveland, none of these teams are going to challenge the Celtics. None of them.
No, none of them. I'm 100% with you. I don't even think I have much to say about the East. They're as bad as it's gotten. I asked you that question when I was coming in today. I was like, dang, is the East really as bad as we think that we thought they are? And like, dude, they're never beating the allegations. Like, Celtics win this championship like we think they're going to, and all you're going to hear again is, oh, they had an easier run than, I don't even know. The easiest run, taking candy from a baby. Right. That's what this whole situation looks like.
Yeah.
Because, okay, who says they even run up against the Cavs? Because I'm hearing online that the Cavs are the 2015 Hawks or whatever. Just the team that's going to run away with the regular season. Yeah. And then they're going to go into the playoffs. And then they're going to run into LeBron. There's no LeBron anymore, but LeBron. And then they're going to get bounced. And it's not even going to be close. Man. So you're telling me the Cavs in 6 right now, or maybe 7, but who's to say down the line, they don't do exactly what they did to the Cavs last year. And then if they do, people are going to say exactly the same thing. Oh, the East, they suck. The Knicks weren't what we thought they were. The Pacers aren't this. And Giannis and Joel Embiid can't get their stuff together and blah, 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 bro.
Well, let me shoot the Cavs some bail here. And really everyone in the East. we can't act like they just melted down last year. They had significant injuries.
No, injuries, yeah, 100%.
The Knicks had significant injuries.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll give them that.
A lot of the Pacers being in the Eastern Conference Finals was predicated on they were the healthiest damn team outside of Boston in the East. That could absolutely happen again this season, and it doesn't mean the Cavs suck. It doesn't mean the Magic suck because Valo was out. It doesn't mean some of this stuff, I always say, like, yeah, there are excuses, but then sometimes it's not excuses. It's actual freaking reasons.
Right.
You feel me? So I can't sit here and say, well, if the Cavs get bounced again by the Celtics, same old Cavs, if a healthy Cavs team gets bounced, then okay. But they had significant injuries last season. I will give them that. I don't think a healthy Cavs would have beat the Celtics last year or this season. We'll see. You got to play the games. But the East sucks. Like, that I'm willing to be defended.
You can't blame it on injuries right now.
Not right now.
Paolo.
Not right now.
You know what I mean?
I guess in
the
Philly,
Magic, and they're in fourth.
I guess in Philly you could.
They're all the way at the bottom.
But they're at the bottom. There's no excuse.
You're going to blame the Chris Middleton for the Bucks situation? Like, okay, that's one dude.
Kinda.
But
yes, that's
maybe
the Bucks
they win
fault.
A couple of games.
That's the Bucks' fault.
Otherwise, when you look at the East, all the injuries I was talking about beforehand, the West. That's the West.
Yeah.
And they're going up against the East and still beating their butt. Still kicking their butt. So a hurt West is still better than a healthy Eastern Conference.
That's terrible.
With two teams at the top who are just knocking down everybody else,
That's
right?
awful, bro.
It's bad.
That sucks.
It's bad.
All right, let's stay in the East. I like this game we play. It's game time. We're doing the stop me when you hear a player better than.
Yep.
And listen, I'm going to be stopping you a bunch because I'll be honest with you, bro. If we had did this show years ago, you and I, then I would be arguing. I'd be silent as a mouse during this because I was arguing. Yeah. I remember being in actual verbal altercations, cuss words and everything, calling people every name in the book except the child of God, defending Donovan Mitchell.
Yep.
You got to get him out of Utah. He's LeBron West. He's stuck just like LeBron was with the Cavs. You can't get anyone to Utah. No one's going to want to play there. And you know what? He goes to Cleveland. I'm like, finally, he's got talent around him, a city that's longing for a winner since post-LeBron era. They're going to love him up. He's going to be a superstar, the highest. And he has done nothing. Now, he's had some injury issues, but that counts. You can't get hurt when I need you the most every stinking time. And that doesn't count against you. So I have since backed off of my Donovan Mitchell love. So I am intrigued to see how this exercise goes.
I'm intrigued too because they're 12-0, and LeBron's best start in Cleveland was 6-0. So I'm over here like you're telling me this, and like I said, I think Darius Garland has, he has
him.
the MVP whatever right now.
I like him.
Whatever, but we'll get into it. All right, I'm gonna start off with this one.
All right,
and I like to start off easy, and people are gonna be mad that I'm saying this is easy.
What?
Damian Lillard.
I'd rather have Donovan Mitchell.
Of course you would.
I'd rather have Donovan Mitchell. I'm a big Dame Lillard fan. I think that's a good comp.
Me too.
But Donovan Mitchell, obviously younger, less mileage, more explosive. Yeah. Dame, I wish Dame had left Portland much sooner. I think we're too far in the back nine of his career now. Like if I get in a 7-game series against the Bucks, which if they make the playoffs, I think Dame could give you the business for a couple games, but I don't believe he's, at this stage of his career, good enough to take over a series. I do believe a healthy Donovan Mitchell can take over a series, so I'll go Donovan Mitchell.
So, you still rocking with him. I got to throw it back a little bit on this one. Stephon Marbury.
Oh, boy, he was so good in his prime. He was a bit of a head case, didn't win much. I'm going to go Donovan Mitchell because of that.
Yeah.
I think as a player, I like Marbury more.
Ooh.
But
you're not stopping me.
No, because Donovan Mitchell, I think, is less of a pain in the arse and more of a team guy, although he's letting me down when I need him the most. But mentally, he's available.
Yep.
Even this, I remember Donovan Mitchell being out against the Celtics in the postseason. Mm-hmm. He was there clapping it up. He was holding the clipboard. He's helping it. He was engaged.
Yep.
That's leadership. I'm not getting that from Starberry, okay? Mm-hmm. Not in his prime. He was about Starberry. Yep. So I'll go Donovan Mitchell here.
All right, as we're recording this person has not played their game against the Jazz. Devin Booker.
Oh, I want Devin Booker.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want Devin Booker.
You want Devin Booker?
Yeah, he should be a champion. I don't know what the hell happened there. I don't know who to blame for that.
Okay.
Or maybe it's just Giannis. But right. I thought the Suns had a ring ripped from them.
Yeah.
I thought for sure Devin Booker was a champ. Now, where I stop people is where they play the game. I know you heard this for years. He's got Mamba mentality. He's a killer like Kobe. No, the hell he ain't. No, he ain't.
There's one Kobe.
Pretty Ricky, what I call him. He too damn pretty for all that. Him and Tatum both. Yeah. They can idolize Kobe. Ain't neither one of y'all pretty boys Kobe, okay? So relax. But I am a Devin Booker fan. I'd rather have Devin Booker. I think he's more of a winner than Donovan Mitchell.
Okay. It's surprising coming off of the heels of him being 12-0. I know. I'm going to let you rock with that. This one is the question that all of Cavs Nation is thinking about right now. Him or Darius Garland?
Okay, Donovan Mitchell's the answer. Darius Garland, though.
NBA Player of the Week.
Listen. No one denies his talent. Mm-hmm. I think Kenny Atkinson deserves a lot of credit. Mm-hmm. I'm not in Cleveland, so I don't know the inside scoop. But from the outside looking in of what's going on there, it was something with Bickerstaff. Mm-hmm. Donovan Mitchell didn't get along with him. Yep. Darius Garland didn't get along. Something was going on there with that coach.
Yep.
But as we all know, this Garland kid is so damn talented. He just needs the right voice and the right system. Mm-hmm. And whatever Atkinson has tapped into is working.
It is.
I think Darius Garland has an opportunity to have a better career than Donovan Mitchell.
Ooh,
I'd be willing to have that hot take.
I don't know about that.
I'd be willing to have that. I'd be willing to have that conversation. But as of now, I'm taking Donovan Mitchell.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I would take D. Mitch now, tomorrow, future, career, whatever way you want to look at it. I don't think it's a conversation with Garland just yet because of the start that Donovan Mitchell got off to versus the start that Darius got off to. Yeah. But that's your opinion. What about this one? Anthony Edwards.
Oh, Ant, please. Next.
What about this one? Jaylen Brunson.
Okay, this is a good comp.
Okay.
Man, I really want to pick Donovan Mitchell here.
Yes.
But I just like what I get from Brunson. You know, it's weird. I almost wish in a lab I could take Jaylen Brunson's makeup and metal and put it in Donovan Mitchell. I think Jaylen Brunson is such a dog that he is squeezing everything you got out of what he has.
Yep.
Whereas Donovan Mitchell is so gifted that I don't know. I don't know why the check engine light comes on when it does with him. I haven't seen him on a stage that I've seen Brunson give guys a business. I haven't seen Donovan Mitchell do that. I think it's in him. I don't know. He gets hurt before. Boy, I wish I could take Brunson's makeup and put it in Mitchell, but I'll go Mitchell here because I do think he's a better player. But I'd rather have Jaylen Brunson, man.
I don't hear a definitive answer.
That's a tough one.
All right, what about this one? Luka Doncic.
I'll take Luka. Look. Unlike Brunson, you know, Luka sort of has that same mental makeup as Donovan Mitchell, where I feel like I'm not maximizing him as much as I should, but he is just so physically gifted. You gotta go Luka here. Luka's basically Jaylen Brunson on roids. You gotta go Luka.
Yeah, I could see that. Luka was the last one, so
and Luka turned into a dog when they need. Here's the thing. I'll give Luka credit for this, where sometimes I wish I could get more out of him.
Yeah.
When they needed him last season, he took the hell over and got that team to the finals. I saw dog. I saw defense. So I saw leadership. I'm still waiting for Donovan Mitchell. I'm still waiting.
Still?
I've been waiting forever.
You gave him the number one team in the NBA. He's the guy.
Well, I tell you what, this is a prove-it year, not just for the Cavs, but for him specifically.
100%. Because now, especially after you started off 12-0, like it's Eastern Conference Finals, Game 6 at least, or bust at this point. Yeah. And you got to have some big games, or we say you're not him. You're just not him.
You ain't him. All right, the Red Sox offseason is heating up, and the rumors are starting to swirl. We know you have a lot of questions about the Sox future, and so we asked the players, coaches, executives, and the alumni those same questions on Nesson's Baseball Podcast, 310 to Left. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else you get your podcast. All right, Tay, what else you got for me?
Look, I got to ask you one question, man, that I love to ask you every once in a while.
Yep.
Are they tripping?
Are they
tripping? And it starts off with this.
Right.
We got a quote from a random NBA scout, anonymous. And now,
of course.
This is where I say state your sources. You know what I'm saying? State your sources. But an anonymous NBA scout says Victor Wembanyama is not an impactful offensive player. Quote, he's absolutely awesome on defense and not impactful at all on offense. He just looks like he's playing without a whole lot of direction. Travis, are they tripping?
I mean, yes, he is tripping, and that's why he's anonymous. He's not going to put his name on it because this is asinine. But where I don't know if this anonymous person is correct or not is he kind of just free-flowing? Is he not playing with a direction? You know, I would defer to someone like you more so.
Yes.
With that, but if he is rudderless, if he is playing directionless, I mean, what a great player. Because I'm seeing this guy, he just dropped 30-something the other night. I mean, this guy's doing whatever the hell he wants. I don't know what this guy's watching. Yeah. But maybe it's not systemic. Maybe, I don't know. That could be true. But to say that he's not, what do you say, he's not an impact?
You're right. Yeah, he said not impactful at all.
You're dumb. Now here's the thing. Because Anthony Davis had some of this. Some guys are just gifted defensively.
Yes.
Like all-time level, gifted defensively. It's natural. It's innate to them. And they have to build their offensive repertoire.
Yeah.
That happens. Anthony Davis is the first name that comes to mind for me.
Yeah.
I remember him, coming into the league. Defensive, he was ready to go right away. But it took a minute for offense. And then once it clicked, oh, boy, there were some years there when he did stay healthy, still with New Orleans, I think, where we were like, this could be the best player in the league. And then since he's got to L.A., he's cut down on the injuries, and he clearly is the best player on the team. I'm sorry. God bless you, LeBron. But at this stage, Anthony Davis is the best player on this team.
Of course.
So is there some of that with Wemby? Is he super talented, natural gifts on defense, and he's working on his offense? Maybe. But that's why I defer to you, because what I see is a polished player across the board. I see gifted defensively, gifted offensively, gifted size from the basketball gods, smart. He's got dog in him. This guy has I don't see any flaws in Victor Wembanyama. That's just me. And I'm willing to put my name on it. I ain't no damn anonymous.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what this guy is watching.
Right.
I mean, he shoots 56% from 2. 31% from 3, and he's shooting 92% from the line right now throughout the season. Now, okay, whatever. You can say stats, blah, 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 analytics, throw that all out the window. I'm going to tell you like this straight up. You got a 7'5" basketball player that has the ability to shoot the ball from 35 feet and also dunk on your center, on your best player, on your best defender at any moment. Bro. And he has one of the greatest point guards of all time helping him get those buckets. And you're telling me that he's not impactful? Look, there's one word that I said in the last episode when we were talking about Steph Curry, and I'll say it again for Wembanyama. Gravity. Yeah. Gravity means a lot. Do you know how easy it is when you know, okay, this guy's going to sit in the corner, and I know every single time I look back in that corner, he's standing right there. I look in the corner, he's standing right there. I look in the corner, standing right there. Very easy. But when you talk about gravity and knowing, hey, oh, my God, Wemby is over there. Yep. I need to know where he is at all time. You better. That frees up other people on offense. And if you don't, you will have 34 put on your head. Absolutely. Like the Kings did the other night. Yes. And when he gets it going, And I understand that he hasn't had it all going in his shot. He's only shooting 31. He shot 32 last year as a rookie. He's only shooting 31 this year. I understand that. That's part of it. Sophomore slump, whatever. Call it what it is. He is going to continue to show people who he is. And he's a competitor. And you can see that he hurt because this came out before that game against the Kings. And you can see in the determination that he had in that game against the Kings that he heard what people were saying about him, and he's letting the league know who he is. Put him on notice. That dude is definitely tripping. I want to ask you one more, Travis.
Okay.
Is this guy tripping as well? Chandler Parsons. Chandler Parsons doesn't think LaMelo is a big name. Quote, you put him on the Clippers in a big market. We're talking about a whole different player. The average person doesn't know who LaMelo Ball is because the Charlotte Hornets are historically bad, end quote.
He's not tripping because he was clear and concise. He said the average person, and he's right. The average person would know this kid from his loudmouth dad. You know, people that know Ball, like you and I, know him, and we've known him his whole life. I mean, literally, you played against him. But I remember hearing back then, wait till the young one comes. I didn't even know his name. I just remember hearing, wait till the young one shows up when the Lonzo Ball hype was happening. The kid can ball. I think Chandler Parsons is right. I don't know so much. He kind of made it sounded like kind of market size, like, if he's in L.A. I don't think it's that. I think it is wins and losses. I think if the Hornets were relevant, more people would know who he is, A. But B, the Hornets would be more relevant if this kid could stay bleeping healthy. He gets hurt. So that's some of it. You know, they for years, they've been one of my favorite league pass teams to watch. But when he's hurt, I don't watch him. So he is exciting. Maybe Chandler Parsons is right. I guess if he's on the Knicks or Clippers or whatever, he would have a bigger brand. But some of this stuff is you just need to be healthy and win games. And you can build your brand that way in Charlotte just fine.
Fair.
I don't blame the Hornets for not building around the kid. The kid gets hurt.
Fair. Travis, I need to let you know this really quickly.
What?
I love you. And I love Chandler Parsons' game. He was one of my favorite players to play with on 2K back in the day. I loved watching him in the dunk contest. He could shoot the lights out when he was really shooting. Y'all are old heads, bro.
What?
And y'all are tripping. The kids love LaMelo Ball.
Oh, he is a big name.
The kids love LaMelo Ball.
So he's good.
Puma doesn't have him with a signature shoe because he's a small name. They love him.
What's that shoe
I see so
look
many
like?
videos of him driving out with his 18 cars and who he's dating. Everybody's talking about
big
it.
Personality.
And the tattoos that he's getting in the grills and everything that he does, everybody clings onto and holds onto. Yes, if he played for the Clippers, would he be an even bigger name? Of course. The kid is from Los Angeles, though.
Right. Oh, I'll
give him credit. It's Chino Hills, which is not Los Angeles, but he's from Los Angeles. So y'all are tripping, bro. And so is Chandler Parsons. This dude is must watch basketball. He's must see TV. He's now helping the Hornets win more games. They should be winning even more than they have, but he's a winning asset. On a bad team. But he has the big-time personality.
He does.
And he's a big name.
He's a star.
No question about it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of his. I'll tell you what, I didn't know that he had a Puma shoe. I just looked it up. I don't hate it. I'm not a big Puma
And the
guy.
kids love it because it's like 18 colors on every single shoe.
It's mad colors.
Right.
It looks like a rainbow puked on your shoes.
Exactly. All right, Travis, I got to ask you about this before we get get out of here at least. You got some more talking to do. NBA League Pass games. Which one are you paying attention to?
Well, as you know, Tay, it always goes back to gambling for your buddy Trav here. So I'm going late night tonight. And this one's personal.
Uh-oh.
Give me the home dogs, the Sacramento Kings, who I believe in, against those damn Phoenix Suns coming into their building. First of all, the Suns are fugazi. I've been telling you I don't believe in this
they don't
team.
have KD right now.
I still don't believe in this damn team. I don't give a damn how hot they've been this season. They lose this game in Sacktown tonight. Secondly, Sacktown has a real home court advantage.
Yes.
I mean, those stupid-ass cowbells that all those fans have, I hate it, but it works. Then they shoot that little laser beam. Remember after games, they shoot it to the sky.
Light the
corny.
beam.
It's corny, but hey.
Nah, I love Light the Beam.
I mean, it works. It works.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Kings tonight. Home dogs, baby. Let's go. Big picture, this Kings team will be way better than the Suns. I'll bet you that.
On the face of a back-to-back, on the back end of a back-to-back, I could see the Kings getting that one. So I'm not going to hate on you too much for that. I'm going to go Pistons-Bucks. It's as simple as this.
Pistons-Bucks?
It's as simple as this. I love desperation basketball. I love desperation basketball. And when you talk about a team that's trying to form an identity that has been in a lot of close games, won some, lost some, with the Pistons, Cade Cunningham is going to play desperation basketball, and he's going to be going up against Giannis, who we know is being talked about by you for being corny. He's being talked about getting traded and all this other stuff, and he hates all of that. While he might be thinking about it himself, he hates all of the negative attention surrounding the Bucks, and he wants to win. So I would love to see two desperate teams clamoring for a win, facing off against each other. I'm expecting this game to be really close. You should definitely tune in.
Hell no. Bro, you said desperation.
Yes.
You don't like desperation basketball. You like despair. Disparaging basketball is what you like. That's an awful, stupid game that you picked. Bucks, Pistons? Are you kidding?
Man. Whatever.
Bro, you're better off coming to my son's game, okay? And I ain't talking Phoenix. I'm saying my child, 7-year-old Colt, balling. I mean, Pistons, Bucks? Out of all the games?
Yeah, that's what I'm rocking with, bro.
All right, man. Well, listen. We'll pray for you, okay? Because we appreciate your contributions to this show, but we got to get you better games, man.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Ountae. I'll leave you all with this. I'm not the biggest NBA Cup fan there's ever been. I told you at the start of the show, I hated on it when it first started, but I got to admit, I found myself betting on the games, being interested in the games. I think I'm in this year. This year, I'm all in because I understand what the league is doing. It's genius. With all this, management and rest management, and I'm going to take the night off and all that, you create a sense of urgency this time of the year in the regular season, which would normally be a lull, right? Season just started, kind of a month in at this point. It's like guys are like, all right, hey, my ankle hurts tonight. I'm going to just take it easy. No, this cup makes guys play because you get something and you get money if you win it. So genius stuff by the NBA. By the way, the ratings for this NBA Cup, they do see a slight uptick in ratings. So that means we, the people, the interest is there. We tune in because there's some urgency there. It kind of creates a little in-season tournament. All right, let's get it going. Little bragging rights. Let's do it. So I like that. I like that the league is doing that. I understand why they're doing it now. I'm not hating on it anymore. I'm still kind of plugging my nose with it a little bit, but I will plug my nose and I will tune in to see what happens. And, of course, we'll talk about it here on Hold My Banner. We always appreciate you. I told you our numbers are going up. It's impossible without you. So now we need you to spread the word a little bit. You found us. You love us. We've built a relationship, but spread the word. We're trying to grow, so we appreciate you. For Travis Thomas and Ountae Campbell, that's it for Hold My Banner. Till we ask you to hold it again next time. Peace!